right. Well, hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being on. I know for some of you it's really, really late. So thank you, thank you, thank you. What I'm going to do is I'm everything and just speak from my heart, and then at the end I'm going to open it up for questions. Okay, and you'll need to unmute yourself at the end if you have questions. But first of all, thank you. Thank you for being on. Thank you for taking your time, and I'm excited that so many of you want to be a part of this exciting journey that we are about to undertake. So, several of you that were on were there last night or Monday night. Those of you that weren't, you watched I'm sure you watched the Facebook video about what's going on. I'm going to give you the scoop, and then you have a decision to make as to whether you're ready to commit to being a part of this exciting all-in leadership group. So at the end of the call, I want you to stay on to the end. At the end, I want you to commit. At the end, I'm going to ask for commitments, because here's the deal, is we're looking for people who are ready to commit and ready to not just talk about it, but ready to actually do something about it. And if you're on, you have a desire for leadership. You have a desire for more in your life. And I'm excited for you to be a part of this. So, and I have notes, so in case you see me looking down, I want to stay on track and I want to cover everything that's on my heart. So, in case you haven't heard the memo, we are building a national area, and I am excited about this, and I'm nervous, and I have no clue how to do this. This is something that I've never done before, and there's so many moving parts, and it's not literally something I can do on my own. If it was something I could have done on my own, I would have done it a long time ago. But it's something that I literally need other people's help. We need other people's help to rally together. It's not something that just one person can do. It's something that we need at least 20, I'm looking for 30 to 40 people that really want to be a part of this, okay? Because I don't want us just going in with the minimum. I believe that we're better than that, and that we can do so much more. And so I want us going in with 30 and 40 people. And so this is something where if you choose to commit, it's something that you're a part of something bigger, that other people are counting on you, and that it is something that sometimes we'll let ourselves off the hook. But when we know that other people are counting on us, and then it motivates us to push ourselves more than we may than we may actually push ourselves if we know other people are counting, right? And I'm putting myself out there, committing to you that I'm not going to give up on this. And I will tell you that I'm super nervous. I literally almost wanted to cancel this meeting because I'm like, what am I doing? I don't even know how to do any of this. But I am committed to this. And just like you guys are going to feel excited and nervous all at the same time and going for a big goal, you have to make the decision that you are going to do this no matter what. So here's the deal, is I need your help. I'm excited for you guys to be a part of this. And like I said, I don't know how to do this. This is something I've never done before, but I just know that it's going to happen. And it's the same thing the reason I share that is I want you to keep in mind that when you think about being a director, you have no clue how it's going to happen. And that's really where people get messed up, and where they get in their own head of like, oh, I don't know. They try and line up all the details of all the people that are going to come in. You don't know. You don't know how. You may have a game plan and have a plan of attack, but I guarantee what your plan is, plan A, it never works out exactly plan A. It's plan B, plan C, plan F. That you have to know that you can't control the how. You just have to know it's going to happen, and it'll all figure itself out. And I'm saying the same thing for myself. So all I know is here's what we need. We need 20 directors. We need 20 directors. I shared on Monday. Right now we have 6. We need 20. And 7 of those 20 need to be in at least the premier level car or above. And I'm going to give you a game plan tonight that walks you through what I'm looking for and the level of activity that's required. And when you do this level of activity, you will finish the IQ pretty much on target for your car. And the directors that are on, I'm encouraging them, and I'm expecting them to do this level of activity and to lead by example. And when they do that level of activity, they will be in their premier cars or above, if not their Cadillacs. I know several of them want to be in their Cadillacs. But there's no reason why we can't, which is exciting. So that's literally what we need. We need 20 directors, at least 12 first line and 8 second line, and 7 and 7 of them need to be premier car or above, which is the Equinox level or above. So this is the month, or the time, we do it this month, to earn the Mini Coopers and the Traverses and the Cadillacs as well. That's a beyond that. Okay. Thing I want to talk before I go through all the details of what I'm looking for is, I know Christina asked me, she said, well, why do you want to be a national? Why is this important to you? And first of all, I have to tell you that, so I didn't share this on Monday night, but first of all, like I did share this on Monday night, though, that God told me that in my silent retreat that I was supposed to do it and that it's time. And so that's the first and foremost reason. But more like the other thing that applies to you is that I want you guys to be a part of a national area. And it's one of those things that you don't really know that you're missing out until you have it. And I have lots of friends that are in national areas, and just the sisterhood and the community and the environment that is created when you have a national area is so powerful. And those of you that are local, I hope that you get to join us at the fall retreat, at Monique's fall retreat in October, because you'll get to see what I'm talking about. You'll get to see the community and the like family-like atmosphere of people rallying together and being a part of something bigger. Like right now, most of you are just in my unit, and which is great, but I want you guys to be directors. And then when you're directors, it's been proven that as directors, you have stronger units and they tend to stick with this more. The units tend to be more productive when they're in a national area. And I never had a national that I was close to, and I kind of had to figure it out on my own, and I kind of like wandered through the desert for years of trying to figure out how to be a director because I didn't have a strong senior or any mentorship. That when you have a national, the national's job is to work with the directors. And just like my job is a director right now, my job is to work with consultants. My job is to help you be your best and get everything you want out of this business. But when you become a director, my job is still with my unit and then some with my directors. And so it's a balancing act where when you're a national, your focus, your sole focus is working with the directors. And so they have more time and more effort and more energy to be able to pour into the directors and make them stronger. And so as a national, you're able to, they typically have stronger directors, okay? And for you guys also, so it's a sisterhood, but then for you guys also, there's more prizes, there's more recognition on a bigger scale when you're part of a national area. And really it's a sisterhood and a community that I want you guys to have that for you, but then for your people. Like you guys are leaders. I'm talking right now to the leaders in my organization that you have to be thinking not just for yourself, but when you're your own director, when you have your own unit, you want to be thinking about your people. And when you're in a national area, your people thrive more because they're part of something bigger. They're part of something bigger, which is really cool. It's like a big family, pretty much. Okay, so, and really you get to have more influence on more lives. This is what excites me. If I think about having 20 directors and minimally each unit has minimally 24 people, minimally, and you don't want to have just 24. You want to grow to 50 and 75, but minimally 20 times 24, and in each family, each unit is 24 people plus that involves a husband and kids and so many people times 20. It's literally hundreds and thousands of people's lives that are affected by us stretching and growing for something big. Like it's literally probably more than 1,000 to 2,000 people in lives that are impacted by us going for something big, by us stretching, ourselves and going for these big goals. There's lots of families that are affected. Does that make sense? And so I'm excited about the influence and what it means. Okay. And I think I said this before, but I want you this to equate to you. I don't know how to be a national, so of course I'm scared. I'm nervous. It's something I've never done before. And it's the same like you guys. You don't know how to be a director. If you're not a director right now, I know I used to get in my head, and I've seen a lot of people get in their own head about becoming a director, and they completely overthink it. And they think, oh my gosh, will I have enough time? Could I do this? I'm not like Candace. I don't know if I'll, I remember being so afraid. I didn't think I had anything great to say. I didn't think I could inspire people. I didn't think people would really want to listen to me. I didn't think that I had anything great to offer as a leader. But guess what? I grew into the position. It's the same thing for you guys. You will figure it out as you go, how that looks for you, and it's going to be different for everybody. Just like any position, like a teacher. A lot of you that are listening, you're teachers. Some of you, and you guys teach all differently. There's outlines and there's whatever, lesson plans, and you can, look at other people's stuff, but you got to make it your own, and you add your personality. It's the same thing with this. You get to make it your own. So you don't have those traits yet, maybe, but guess what? You grow into the position. So it's normal to be afraid. Just like I'm going to grow into the position of national over the next year, you guys are going to grow into the position of directorship as well. So just know, don't overthink it. You may be afraid, you may be nervous, you're not going to know all the details, but don't overthink it. The question I want you to ask yourself is, do I want more in my life? Do I want to be a part of this exciting adventure? Do I want to have more influence? Most of you have heard me talk about directorship, and so I'm not going to go into explaining all the perks of directorship, but the short version is, if you've never heard me talk about it, first of all, you make more money. You make a lot more money for the exact amount of time. For example, I texted this out earlier, I think, and I can post it on our Facebook page, but basically, if you haven't seen it, for the exact same level of activity, I'll post this on our Facebook page. If you did $9,000 as a consultant, that's a lot as a consultant between you and your team. If you did that, your commission with making a car payment or having earned the car is $1,600 in commission. That's pretty stinking awesome, and that's probably the highest amount that you could ever get paid as a consultant. And including your sales. Now, as a director, for the same level of activity, the same people, that $9,000, you would be making $4,600. $4,600 instead of $1,600 for the exact same activity. So you're leaving about $3,000 on the table by not being a director for the exact same level of activity. And so that really is the main difference is, for those of you that are driven by money, you get through DIQ qualifications, you become a director, which I'll explain that real quickly in a minute. But once you get there, you're going to make a lot more money for the same amount of effort. Now, you keep working. You don't get to directorship and just stop working, but the same activity that got you there, you keep doing that level of activity, and you're going to make a lot more money as a director. But also as a director, it really is where I believe you get to have more influence, you get to help more people. I've always been told this, you get the soup, the scoop, and the loot, which means you get, of course, they get the scoop. If you like to know all the new, latest, greatest things coming out, you get that as a director. And of course, the loot, you make more money. But also at that point, you can make, earn free cars and trips and diamonds, and really the girlfriends and the women that you get to do life with are pretty incredible. And so I want you to be thinking about, first of all, I want you to know, this is your homework assignment or something that I do want you to reach out to me and tell me, what excites you most about being a director, okay? So that is one of your assignments, is to tell me what excites you most about being a director. I don't want you to make a list of all the reasons why you can't be a director, because guess what? We all could sit here and talk about it, just like becoming a consultant. People can focus on the reasons why they couldn't be a consultant, and we know people all have the same fears, but you got to focus on what they're excited about being a consultant. It's the same thing at the director level. You can focus on all the reasons why you couldn't be a director, or you can focus on what excites you about it. So that's what I want to know, is what excites you about becoming a director, okay? What excites you about what it's going to do for your family? But I can tell you the most exciting thing that happens when you become a director is the person that you become. Because right now you're not a director. And those directors that are listening right now, you're not a Cadillac director, but you grow into the position. You grow into the position of the person you become in the process, the confidence you develop, the people skills you develop, the determination that you develop, and the pushing skills you develop, which we're going to talk a lot about this. If you choose to be a part of this leadership group, I'm going to be offering special leadership training about training on those things, about the skills that you need to develop over this process that you don't have yet. But if you are committed to this process, then you will learn them over the time that you become a director, and then the directors that you become Cadillac directors and Equinox directors. And so what I'm looking for is to create a group, a tight-knit group of women that are there for each other, that are there to help each other when they get knocked down, that are there to pick each other up, that we leave no woman behind. No, we're not dragging you across the finish line. Maybe some of you will, no, I'm just kidding. But it's a group that I want you to know you're not alone, that you're scared, that you're nervous, but you're facing your fears, and that you're ready to be bold and courageous and do this thing and not just talk about it, but to actually do it and know that you're not the only one that is walking this journey. Okay, so what is DIQ? You go through, and how do you become a director? Really quickly, it's super simple. You go through a process called DIQ, and you go into DIQ when you have 8 active people. I think most of you know that right now there is a window in Mary Kay that I have never in 14 years seen the qualifications to become a director be so easy. That I want you to repeat after me. This is easy. This is so easy. This is so easy. I have never seen the qualifications be as easy as they are right now. That now is your time. Now is the window. That's why we're having this conversation. If you ever had a desire to be a director, this is your window between now and leadership. And so you only need 8 active at the end of the month. Now you can only submit at the end of the month. So I'm looking for women who are ready to submit September 1st or October 1st. That's it. That's your 2 options. Because guess what? There's going to be a push, and we'll talk about that in a minute, that, if you avoid the push, you're going to be waiting forever. You could literally, every single one of you listening to the sound of my voice, if you make a decision and you're willing to push and you're willing to do the activity, could be in DIQ September 1st. Every single one of you. Doesn't matter if you have 0 people on your team. It is a decision, and it's working like a dog on a bone. It's a skill. Pushing is a skill that you will learn through this process if you choose to be a part of it. Okay, so you go DIQ, 8 active. Then you go through a qualification period of where you grow from 8 to 24 people. When you're in DIQ, anybody that you recruit on your team and your people's people recruit counts for the 24. Not anybody previously. Not anybody previously. Literally, the day you submit. That's why once your people start recruiting, you want to get into DIQ ASAP, because they will help recruit people for you. So we just got to get you in. Those of you that are not in DIQ, which is most of you, you just want to be focused on how quickly can I get to my 8 active. Am I going to choose September 1st or December 1st? Those are your 2 options, because I'm looking for women who are ready to be directors by leadership. Leadership is in January, and are committed to do the work that it takes to become a director by leadership, okay? So first of all, it's a decision. I mean, I'm even looking for women who are ready to buy their plane tickets without even having 0 team members right now, because when you buy a plane ticket, you will find the people. I can guarantee it, because you're backing it up, that you're not just talking about it. That's the kind of level I'm talking about, being committed, because, everybody can say, oh, I want to be a director, sure, Candace, I'll do it, and then do nothing and not throw your whole heart over the line. That I'm looking for women who really are serious about this and aren't just doing this to, for me or for anybody else, but they're doing it for themselves, and they really are ready to do this. And so you go through a qualification. I call DIQ. It can take 1 month. It's quickest to do it in 1 month, but it can take up to 3 months. It is easiest to do it in 1 month, but it's up to you. I've literally been told that it takes 11 days of focused activity to finish DIQ. Now, some of you may be thinking, because a lot of you that work, or a lot of you that are on, I know you work, that's why we're doing it in the evening. And a lot of you may be thinking, oh my gosh, I don't have the time for this. Well, guess what? Pretty much the majority of people that become sales directors, they do it around a full-time job. So you're not alone, so you can let that excuse go. That everybody that does this is busy. You guys know that, you've heard me say it, and it's so true, that busy people do best at this business. Busy people do best, so don't let that stop you if you have a full-time job. Granted, we don't want this, this doesn't have to take a lot of time, but it's about focused time. You heard me say 11 days of focused activity, because you guys know when you work your business, you kill it. You do awesome. But guess what? A lot of times we spend a lot of times in our heads thinking about it and not actually working. That if you want to be a part of this group, we're going to talk about time management, because that is critical. We all have the same amount of time, but a lot of people can be a lot more productive during that time. You guys know, actually, Darby, she's one of our directors in Virginia. She's still a full-time teacher, and she's a director, and she's one of my strongest directors, you guys. And she's like, her husband works 24/7, so she's pretty much like a single mom, and she is a very solid, strong director, you guys. And one of my friends, when I was just in Pennsylvania last month, I got to know her, and we went to dinner, and I didn't even know this, and she's a top director in the company, and literally was a teacher, and earned a top sales director trip. She earned the trip to Alaska, while still teaching full-time, you guys. And so if you love your job, this isn't something that you have to give it up, if that's important to you. Because I know some of you that does apply where you love your job, and that's okay. You can just do both and make more money. But just know we don't want you, I don't want you to let that stop you, because it is something that's a skill that we will teach you and that you will learn about time management, because I'm talking about that. Pam Shaw, she's a top national in the company. She talks about you can change anything in 90 days. She sent out a message recently, and anything that I send out, I hope you guys listen to it, because like I talked about last night, Monday night, your emotional management to this is everything. I mean, I posted on our Facebook page the emotional management cycle, because You've got to know yourself. I would make sure you keep that on your phone, put it on your fridge, that you know where you are on that cycle. And that when you're not in stage one and you're not in excitement mode and you're down in one of those lower stages, that you know how to, number one, recognize it, and number two, get yourself out of it ASAP. And you get yourself out of it by reaching up to me or your director ASAP. And activity is the second thing that you can do to pull yourself out of that. But anyways, Pam Shaw talks about you can change anything in 90 days if you, and she talked about a couple different things, but she talks about you have to know that time invested in one thing is time away from another area. You have to know that I want you to think about what could you give up for 90 days? What is something you could give up for 90 days that you know if you gave up that thing, you would be completely further along in your business? Now, I'm not saying outside of God and family. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is maybe there's a bad habit. Maybe there's a TV show. Maybe there's Facebook. Maybe that whatever it is that you know that, gosh, how much time do I actually spend, on Facebook or watching this TV show? If you gave that up for 90 days and actually invested that time in your business, OMG, you'd probably be in a completely different place. That if you struggle with time management, those are some of the choices that you'll have to make, right? That it's a short-term sacrifice for a long-term gain. If you really want to change your life, you've got to make some different choices, and we'll talk a lot about that. So anyways, I'm looking for women who are really serious about this and ready to rearrange their schedule to make this happen. Not outside of God first, family second, but willing to give up some other things for 90 days to really get this thing done and to focus and buckle down. And I'm looking for women who are ready to work and be accountable for their work. That's the big key right there, is to be accountable. Because those two things I'm looking for is willing to do the work. I'm going to give you a game plan in a second and the level of activity that I want you shooting for, and to be accountable for it. Because along in that process, I want you communicating with me. And I want you communicating with me because I can get you across that finish line. But really the key that I have found in all the people that I've helped become directors is their communication with me. And then once they became a director, if they stay in communication with me, they continue to be successful. The more you hide and the more you pull away, the slower it's gonna take you. That I am here. If you choose to be a part of this group, I want to hear from you daily. That's going to be part of the requirements. I want to hear from you daily. Voxer is second best. On the phone is first best. I am never too busy for you. Never too busy for you. I'm really not that busy. You are my priority. That I want to hear from you, okay? So anyways, that's what I'm looking for, is people are willing to work, willing to be accountable for it, and willing to communicate with me. So here's the deal. This is the things that we're going to be tracking each week. And I'm going to send out a tracking sheet that you're going to start tracking. And these are the numbers that I want you shooting for, because here's the deal is I'm not building weak directors. I'm building strong directors, and it starts with the level of activity that is required in DIQ, and I want to keep the bar high. That, if the numbers that I'm going to tell you in a second scare you, good, because I want you shooting for the bar to be really high. I don't want the bar to be really low, because DIQ, to finish, you go into qualification with 8 people. To finish, you end with 24 and 13,500. So once you get in DIQ, we'll have a tracking sheet and we'll help you track all that. But for now, if you're not in DIQ, I just want you focused on how quickly can I get to my 8 active. And active means they have their first order of 225 in. Their active means that they've ordered 225 in the last 3 months, okay? We'll give you a game plan on how to do that in a minute too if you really want to, if you're going to get into DIQ September 1st. So to finish DIQ, the level of activity that's required, you can do it 1 to 3 months, like I said, but I'd say the key is to do it quickly as possible. Is I've been told, and I have a tracking sheet that can break it down, is that it takes 30 parties, 30 personal parties, and 60 sharing appointments to finish. That's a level of activity. Once you're in DIQ, 30 parties, that's 3 people, and 60 sharing appointments, okay? So weekly, the level that I want you to focus on, that one of my really good, one of my mentors, Crystal Trojanowski, and someone that has really helped to mentor me and has shared with me the things that she did. She just recently became a national a couple years ago and has a very strong area. And she said it's because this was her game plan that she required DIQs to do. Okay, so this is the game plan. I will send this to you, is that this is the level of activity I want you shooting for weekly, and that you're going to be turning in. 50 new leads a week, 50 new leads a week. Now, that is where it all starts. All the other stuff I'm going to tell you starts with 50 leads a week, 50. And you guys, that doesn't have to be running around town doing them individually. Today I did a party, there were 3 people there and got 30 names. you guys, that you work smart with your leads. Go do something where you can go get 20, 30 names at once. Okay, so 50 leads, 20 faces, 10 new bookings on your books weekly, 5 personal sharing appointments, and 1 daily check-in. I will send this to you, but basically that's the level of activity that I want you shooting for, okay? Now, every week you may not reach it, but that's the level I want you shooting for. And that doesn't have to take a lot of time. That usually will take 8 to 10 hours, but if you're working that level of activity, there's nothing that will stop you. You will not struggle with DIQ. You will never fall out of DIQ. And as a director, so directors, that is the level I want you working for as well, because you will not struggle as a director. You will be a car driver. You will be a money-making director when you are working personally. So that's the level of activity that I want you shooting for. And here's the deal. If you choose to be a part of this, I want you turning in your numbers each week, every single week. Now, that's not to judge you, but that is to be accountable, to hold you to what you said you're going to do. Now, that is not to bring shame. That is not to make anybody feel bad, because as you know, I tell you this all the time, you are not what you do. You are not what you do. You are not what you did or didn't do yesterday. But if you really want to do this, that shows me who's really ready to actually do the work and not just talk about it and not make excuses, because we all could sit here and make excuses, but it's time to back it up. So if you want to be a part of this group, I want you to turn in those numbers weekly. We're just going to be training weekly, and there's going to be communication with me, that I'm going to be in there with you. I want to pour myself into you. And I shared this on Monday night that, you know, I kind of found myself holding back from really pouring into people because I've been hurt, because I felt like I poured into people before and then they just walked away. And I'm willing to risk that again with you because I care about you. And I want you to experience everything you can out of this business. I want to grow as a leader. I want to be someone who is ready to throw myself 110% in there with you, and that I will match my time with your effort. If you are working, I will be there. I will be right there in the field with you, go out with you, meet people with you, do career chats with you. I want to be there, in there with you, and help you get this thing done. But you've got to be willing to do the work and not just talk about it, okay? So here we go. It's crunch time. So here's the deal, is you have 2 options, DIQ September 1st or October 1st, if you want to be a part of this. And I would encourage you to not just automatically go to, I'm going to submit October 1st, because guess what? That's procrastination. That I want you to develop the skill of pushing. That I want you pushing for something. Even if you have 0 people right now, I'm looking for women who are ready to be brave. I'm looking for bold women who say, I want to be in DIQ September 1st, and I'm willing to back it up with activity. If you share with people and you're like a dog on a bone, you know, I have a friend, a really good friend, she's the top director in the company, that she was in Mary Kay 48 hours and got into DIQ. You guys are women of influence. You were on this Zoom meeting tonight because you have influence. You have influence, and you know people that I believe if you made some phone calls, if you stepped out of your comfort zone and you made some scary calls and you talked to some bold women, some women on your chicken list, and you talked to them and said, look, I have a huge goal. This is what I need. I'm moving up. I'm becoming a sales director. I need you. This is what I need from you is I'm looking for women who want to be a part of my team. I'm becoming a director. This is what I need from you. Got to get a starter kit and get at least 225 and get active and be a part of this. When they do that, you guys, I'm going to offer, by the way, a $75 starter kit. They'll get $25 off of the next 2 days. But then if you break it down for them and show them how much product they will get, I think it's something like, I don't know, it's like $900 of product for like $300 or something like that. I'll have to do the math and give you the numbers more correctly. But the whole point is that those of you that have a desire to be getting to DIQ ASAP, you could be in DIQ September 1st if you make up your mind and then you're like a dog on a bone and you make it happen. Everyone else, I still want you pushing for something and committing to DIQ October 1st. P.S. Your attitude over these next 2 days is critical. How do you feel about these next 2 days? Have you already given up on your goal for the month? Have you already decided, you know what, next month, I'll push next month? No! If you are going to be a director, you've got to learn the skill of pushing. And you've got to learn the skill of embracing the pressure and know that it's a beautiful thing. Any great athlete gets paid tons of money because of the mental discipline that they can exude over when things get tough. You know, in the last 2 minutes of the football game, they get paid a ton of money because it is the mental game, not the physical game, that determines whether they win or lose the Super Bowl. We have seen professional athletes literally look like high school athletes be under pressure if they crumble under pressure. That you guys, this is a skill that you need to learn, is the art of pushing. The art of pushing. So the next 48 hours, if you want to be a part of this group, you need to push for something. And that's going to be one of the first things I'm going to ask you is, if you're going to be a part of this group, what are you going to push for in the next 48 hours? Because you don't get to wait till October 1st to push, because guess what? You're just procrastinating. That your attitude about this is that if you think about, oh my God, the next 2 days, 48 hours, doing something for this, I'm so stressed, and it gives me all this pressure. You can have that attitude, or you can look at it as, oh my gosh, this is going to be the most exciting next 48 hours of my life. I'm excited to see what happens. I'm excited to see how God shows up. I'm excited to see who's going to be a part of this. Two totally different attitudes. Everything is in your attitude, you guys. And so I want you to stretch over the next few days. And it doesn't matter what happened yesterday. It literally is you asking yourself, what can I do? What can I do? Because when you get to the place, if you'll do whatever it takes, nothing will stop you. Okay, so you have decision September 1st or October 1st. If you're choosing October 1st, then you minimally need to push. I want you pushing minimally for your bracelet, or not bracelet, you're not bracelets anymore. Necklace, 600. I want you selling 600 over the next 2 days. I posted some great ideas yesterday on 24 and pushing to make some great sales. I want you minimally doing that. The other thing I want you doing is having minimally 10 people listen to the business opportunity over the next 48 hours and having them follow up with me. When you do that, you should have at least 2 new agreements, minimally. That's what I want you pushing for, minimally over the next 2 days, if you're choosing October 1st. If you're choosing September 1st, there are several of you that I know could be in DIQ September 1st. And those of you that are in DIQ, you could do 5,000, 10,000 over the next 2 days. When you push and you go find at least 5 new people, minimally 5, some of you need 8 new people that you have powerful conversations with, and you say, look, here's what I'm doing. I need you. I'm scared. I'm nervous. I don't know how to do this. You can blame it on me. My director challenged me to make a list of the sharpest women I know. I'm officially challenging you. Make a list of the sharpest women you know. And a lot of them are on your chicken list. They're people you haven't asked, and you call them and you say, I want you. I want women like you on my team. Is there any reason why you couldn't be a part of our team and be a part of this exciting new thing that I got going on? I will offer a $75 starter kit to anybody who signs up between now and the end of the month. And there is still plenty of time. What we can do and what the strategy is that we need to get their agreements in by Friday night. We need to get their agreements in, and we can put orders on hold. And actually, this is a really, and that buys us till the second business day of the next month to be able to resolve their orders and still have account for this month. And so we get the agreements in. That gives us actually till Wednesday at noon to be able to resolve the orders, have them come up with the financing, and still have account for this month. There is no reason why every single one of you could not be in DIQ September 1st. If you want more to talk more about that, we can. But just know that there is plenty of time if you make the decision and you work like a dog on a bone, that nothing will stop you till you get there. And you don't just tell me, here's the deal, is that there's 3 different levels of commitment that you're going to have towards this thing. The first is, I'll try, Candace. I'll try. We'll see if that happens. No, I know that's not even going to happen. I just know it's just lip service. Second level of commitment is, I'll try. I'll give it my best shot. I'll give it my best shot. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, but I'll give it my best shot. No, that is even not, like, that is not, that to me means it's not happening. So, because when you say that, that means you're giving yourself a way out. You're letting yourself off the hook already before you've even started, right? The level that you want to be at, that literally I know that I can see it in your eyes that it's going to happen, is when you say, Candace, I'm doing this no matter what. I don't know how. I have no clue how. I don't know how at all, but I know it's happening. Come hell or high water, I will be in DIQ September 1st, baby. Then I know that you are going to make this thing happen. So those are the level of commitment that you've got to check. Just do a little self-check on where you at with this thing. Where are you at with this thing? Because if you say you'll try, if you say, oh, I'll see where it goes, I'll give it my best shot, then you're already letting yourself off the hook. And guess what? That just means you're afraid. But I'm looking for women who are ready to throw themselves over the bar and say, I'm doing this, Candace. I have no clue, but I'm in. So that's what I'm looking for. Looking for women who are not wanting to make excuses. Women who, and the third thing that I want you to shoot for between now and the end of the month is having 10 appointments on your books. 10 appointments on your books for September, okay? So those are the kind of the game plan of things that you can be shooting for. So here's what I want to know from you. I know I've gone over 30 minutes. I'm sorry, you can't tell. I'm excited. I have a lot to take. But I will shut up soon because I know it's getting late. So DIQ, September 1st or October 1st. That's what I want to hear from you. Are you in? Are you in? Are you committed to being in DIQ September 1st or October 1st? Second thing I want to know is what excites you about being a director? What excites you about being a director? Because that I want to know so that I can remind you when you're discouraged, when you're not excited, when things aren't working out the way that you want them to. I want to remind you. I want to be there and remind you why you're doing this. Your why has to drive you, like Lisa Ann talked about last week at the meeting. Third thing I want to know from you is what are you going to push to make happen by September? What are you going to push to make happen by September 1st in the next 48 hours? You have 3 options. I would encourage you to shoot for all 3 if you're not going to go for DIQ September 1st. Minimally, even if you are going to be in DIQ, every single one of you listening to me, definitely don't want to make that minimal that you earn your necklace, because when you're doing 600, number one, you're selling and making money, but you're also making 13% commission. You don't want to leave money on the table, people. That's the only thing we'll talk about later. Second is minimally have 10 people just listen and follow up with me. Have them watch the Peek in a Pink, have them come to an event. We have 2 events going on the next 2 days. Have them come to an event. Have them listen to my Peek in a Pink or watch my video. Have them follow up with me ASAP. Thirdly, get 10 appointments on your books. 10 appointments on your books. Don't tell me you don't know people. You guys know people. You know people that would be willing to help you with this huge goal. You know people. You are women of influence, and you know people. I want you to believe in yourself and know that you can do this. I believe in you. The key is you've got to believe in you. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens over these next few months. I'm excited to see who rises up. I'm excited to see you guys grow into the leaders that I know you are. I'm excited to see you build your confidence. I'm excited to see you really step out of your comfort zone and, be scared and nervous and see what you're made of. See what you're made of. That's what happens in this process is you see what you're made of. And it's exciting. But you guys, it'll change your life if you choose to be brave. You have a decision to stay where you're at, and whatever's gotten you to this point, you are where you are right now because of the decisions you made yesterday and the day before. And if you're okay with that, great. If you're not okay with that, then we need to make some different choices, make some different decisions, get into action, and be in a different place 1, 2, 3 months from now. And I'm excited to run with you. So, there you go. That is what I wanted to share. I'm going to open it up for questions, and then I want to pray together because I'm excited. I know that God's got to be a part of this. I know he's a huge part of my life, and I want him to be a part of this. There is no way that it's going to happen without him. And I know that this is something that really, when I'm stretched, for me, it causes me to lean in closer to the Lord and say, God, I literally don't know how to do this. I need you. And he'll become a part of the process. And so we'll pray over it, our adventure, calling it an adventure, our national area adventure. But really quickly, does anybody have any questions? Oh, I lied. There's one more thing. Be thinking about questions. There's one more thing is, so I'm wanting this to be stick to about 30 minutes. I'm sorry. I know I went long because I was explaining a lot of stuff. That I'm debating between 8:30 and 9 on Wednesday nights. I know some of you have Bible study, and I know for Angela and Valentina, it's late in Texas. And I know a lot of you may be listening to the recording, but I really want you live if possible because I want us to be able to be accountable and to commit to something that we can be on live. So tell me if 8:30 or 9 when you message me as well. And those of you that are listening to the recording, be sure to message me. I want to hear from you either way. If you're not ready to be a part of this, ready to commit, that's okay. But I hope and pray that you are because it's worth it. And it's normal to be afraid. It's normal to be nervous. I'm scared with you, but I'm excited to grow, and I want to do it for you and for us. And I know that by me setting this big goal, it stretches you guys to do more than you've done for the area and not just for yourselves. Because like we've said, it's easy to let ourselves off the hook. But when we know other people are counting on us, and I don't mean that in a bad pressure way, I mean it in a very healthy way, a team spirit way, knowing that that you can rise up and that you will push yourself to do more because other people are counting on you. So, all right, what questions do you guys have? Does that make sense? I'll send out the info as soon as I get the group of people that are committed. I want you to message me, and I will send you all of those details. That's it. Any questions? Okay. I'm going to pray really quickly for us, and we will get off and get to work. So I want to hear from all of you. Message me right now or when we're done praying, and I want to know those three things. What are you committed to? September 1st or December 1st? You don't have to pick December because that's just fear. September 1st or October 1st. Why do you want to be a director? What excites you about it? What are you looking forward to? And the more in-depth you get, the better. And then thirdly, what are you going to make happen? What are you pushing to make happen these next 48 hours? Okay? All right? Here we go. Oh, dear God, I just am so grateful for these women. I thank you that they took the time to call in to join tonight. And Lord, I just pray that you would empower them. Lord God, that you would just be with them in their actions and everything that they do, Lord, over these next 48 hours. Lord God, as they're trying to decide what they want to do, I just pray that you would give them courage. Lord God, you call us to be bold and courageous. And we are told over 300 times in the Bible to fear not, that fear is not of you, that we are called to fear not, that we are called to trust in you. And I know that I'm afraid and these women are afraid, and I just pray that during those times that fear sets in, that we would run to you and we say, God, I can't do this on my own, but that you would cause them to be bold and to be courageous over the next 48 hours as they are pushing, that you would bless their activity, that you would lay those women on their hearts that they're supposed to call for appointments and for booking and for sales and for team members, Lord God, that you would lay those women on their hearts, that you would be stirring and working in this behind the scenes on their behalf, Lord God, working in the hearts and souls of their prospects and the people that they're going to be calling, Lord God, behind the scenes, that so when they call, Lord God, that door would just be opened up. And I pray that when they get discouraged, when they get down, that they would run to their mentor, that they would reach up, that they would not let themselves get discouraged, that they would run to you, that they would cling to you during this time as you grow them, as you develop them into leaders that they are called to be. Lord, I truly believe that the position of director and national is a calling. And for me, it's been laid on my heart, and I pray for these women that it's laid on their heart. It's a calling. It's so much bigger than them. It's not even about them. It's not about them, but it's about the women's lives that they are going to touch, the process of them being bold and courageous. I pray that as we are building our courageous area, that we remember to be bold and courageous. For you, for ourselves, for our friends in our national area, for our families, that we would not let fear cause us to shrink back, but that we would be bold and be the women of God that you've called us to be, and that we can bless women and change so many women's lives over this process, Lord. Thousands of women's lives will be changed because all of us are being bold and courageous for you. In your name I pray, amen. I pray that you would bless our efforts. Here we go. Let's get to work. I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. Thank you for your time. I hope you're excited, can't sleep. You're so excited about what's going to happen over these next 48 hours. I want to hear from you. You're important to me. Reach out to me. You cannot bug me too much. I am yours if you're ready to do the work and you're committed to this thing. So here we go. All right, guys, that's it. Have a good night. Bye-bye.